Hey guys, happy whatever day it is. Tuesday. It's Tuesday because on Tuesdays, every month or every other month, I have a Halo volunteer information meeting. So I know it's Tuesday. So I sometimes DIY things, not always, because I do like to keep things simple, but sometimes I like to make things myself. And I also have get-togethers periodically with my Young Living group that is local, and we make things. And so this recipe is something that we made at our last make and take get-together, and I have been using it like crazy, and I used up all of the rest of mine. So I'm getting ready to whip up another batch. Not just for me, I'm also gonna give some away because I also love to give little DIY things away, because who doesn't love to have like a little homemade goodie given to them, right? So let me show you what I got here. All right, here's what I have out. So I am making grapefruit sugar scrub, which is absolutely amazing. I like flew through the jar that I had for myself. So here's everything that I have out. And then I'll share the recipe too. So the lighting is weird here, but I can't really do anything about it. So the regular recipe is half a cup of sugar, or you could use salt. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Half a cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of sweet almond oil. Mine looks like this. You could use another kind of oil too. I'll tell you about that when I mix it in. And then 10 drops of grapefruit essential oil and 5 drops of peppermint essential oil. And oh my goodness, the combination of these together is like heaven. So this is a really great sugar scrub for your whole body. And because of the almond oil that's in it, it's really soft and nourishing for your body. So like if you want to do your legs during the summer, and then that oil soaks in and it gives them like that really nice kind of summer sheen. But what I do is I've been using it on the bottoms of my feet because I work from home. So I wear flip-flops pretty much every day, and my feet need a little extra love. So I've been using on my feet when I've been in the shower to just kind of buff the rough spots and try to keep them looking sandal ready, at least as much as possible. So I am actually making 3 jars. So normally I made a jar this size, and I should totally know what size this is. I'm gonna guess that this is 4 ounces or 8 ounces, and I will find out for sure and let you guys know how big this is. It must be 4 ounces because it's half a cup of sugar. So I'm gonna say this is 4 ounces. So this is what I made. I'm actually gonna make myself 2 just because I liked it so much and I went through it so much. So I'm gonna make myself 2 jars, and then I'm not labeling mine because I know what it is, and I'm just gonna throw them in my shower, but I'm also gonna make a couple as gifts, and I have those adorable, I don't know if you guys can see that, I have those cute little labels. How cute are those, right? So I'm gonna mix these up and then give them to a couple of people, because who wouldn't love to have something given to them to pamper their feet and their summer skin, right? So I already have, because it's half a cup of sugar to make 1 jar, I already have 2 cups of sugar in here. So this is what I use. I use the white granulated sugar, organic, because you know, if I'm gonna put it on my body, I don't want it to have any weird stuff in it, because then it'll absorb right into my skin. I don't want that. You can also use brown sugar. So if you want it to be really, really, hey Brenda, if you want it to be really, really super fine, like your skin is like extra sensitive, then you can use brown sugar because it's a little bit finer. Or if you want it to be grainier, kind of a little bit, I don't know, harder, I don't know if that's the right word, but just like not quite so soft. If you really want it to be like extra scrubby, you can use like sea salt or something like that. For me, my skin is a little bit sensitive, but I also like it to be, especially on my feet, I want it to be scrubby enough that's gonna do the job and really exfoliate. So I like just the white granulated sugar. I think that's the perfect amount, but you can switch and you can use brown sugar or you can use sea salt if you wanna change it up. So I'm gonna put in 2 tablespoons of sweet almond oil for each jar that I'm making. So I'm gonna put in 8 tablespoons, but if you're just making 1 jar, you just do 2. It does not have to be sweet almond oil. That's what the recipe calls for, and I have a lot of these oils laying around. You could use coconut oil. If you use solid coconut oil, you really have to mix it really good, but that'll still work, especially because in your shower, it's gonna be hot enough usually that it'll keep it liquid enough. You could use jojoba oil. I wouldn't use something that smells really strongly like olive oil or something like that. And this stuff is not, almond oil is a little bit more expensive, but you could use this fractionated coconut oil. So fractionated coconut oil is a little bit more processed and it's going to stay liquid all the time, so it won't solidify if the temperature is a little bit cooler. And I think these are like $12 for this ginormous thing. So that would be a good option if you don't have almond oil. So I am using almond oil because I do have almond oil, and I am going to put 8 tablespoons. And then the nice thing about this too is once I get this all done, hopefully I can count tablespoons and talk at the same time. I think that's 4. Once I get this all done, I'm gonna mix it up, and you can kind of eyeball what your consistency looks like, and you can always add in. I mean, there's no way that your recipe has to be, right? It's not an exact science. Okay, I think this is 8. If anybody has been watching and counting tablespoons, I think that's 8. I'm not really sure. And you know what? I forgot to get something to mix with. So I'm gonna grab something to mix with. I'm back. Okay, so then if you're making it just 1 jar for yourself, you would do 10 drops of grapefruit and 5 drops of peppermint. I am telling you, this combination is amazing. It is so amazing together. It's like, I can't even explain it. It just, the grapefruit is like the best summer smell, but the peppermint just makes it really energizing and just kind of brightens it up a little bit. It's really, really good. So I am the worst at talking and trying to count what I'm doing too. So I am going to do, on the spot math in my head, I'm gonna do 20 drops because I'm making 4 jars of this. I've talked a little bit about this before, but these are going on my body, and our skin is our largest organ. So I definitely want to make sure that I am not using essential oils that might not be pure or that might be adulterated. And you guys would be shocked at how many of the, I think that's about 20. I don't know. I'm gonna have to account for this because 40 is a lot. So I'm gonna put 40. If you're making 1 4-ounce jar, you would put 10. You would be shocked at how many of the oils on the market are adulterated. You know, the essential oils have become so popular. There's all of a sudden all of these companies getting in on it, and they do not have organic farms. You know, they have not had enough time to get their organic farm set up. They don't have the research. They don't have the teams. They're just buying some wholesale oils and slapping their labels on it. And best case scenario, especially if they're at the store, Amazon, those kinds of places, they're probably diluted with coconut oil. So you're not really getting this pure oil that you want, which is what's going to make change in your body, right? This plant juice. Worst case scenario, they can still have synthetic fragrances, synthetic substances. They can have toxic chemical extenders that they use to either extend the amount of oil they're getting, or they use to distill instead of using something really gentle like a steam distillation or cold pressing or something like that, because they get more oil that way. Not only does that end up with bad things mixed in, but it also destroys some of the chemical constituents, the properties of the oil. That's what does the good stuff. So I only use Young Living oils. That's just a little glimpse into my life of why I only use Young Living, but now I gotta count because I'm gonna put in 10 drops for each of my 4 jars. So I'm putting in 40 drops, or roughly. Getting close, I think that's about 30. Okay, so there we go. And then, kind of just looks like that. I'm just gonna mix it up. It is so good. So I just set my jar in the shower. You could also, this would make a really great scrub to keep by your sink. So either in the kitchen or in your bathroom, and after you wash your hands, to just do an exfoliating scrub and keep your hands really soft. It would be great for that too. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I wish you guys could smell this in my kitchen because it smells so good. and I was super sad when I ran out, but luckily it's really easy to make. So like I said, I don't DIY things unless I absolutely cannot find a version to buy that I like. Then I will DIY it. Thankfully, especially because of Young Living, they're my easy button for getting all my non-toxic products that I absolutely love, so I don't have to make them, or things that are really easy. So this is super easy. I already have sugar, I already have oils. All I have to do is mix them up. So it just looks like that. And then if you want it to be a little bit more oily, you can add more. I will probably add just a little bit more because I do like it. I don't like it to be too fluffy. I really like it to have enough oil in it that it's kind of stays juicy and that it really is really moisturizing when I'm using it. So I just add a little bit more. So that's it. I will not put these in the jars while you guys are on here because that would be boring, but this is my personal jar, so I'm just gonna fill this with this goodness right here. And then I'm gonna scrub my feet and try to make my sandal feet acceptable for seeing people in the summer. So that's it. I'll post the recipe so that it's really easy, even though I know I said the ingredients like 85 times during this, but I'll post it so that it's really easy to find in one place.